Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zhenya, and I'm happy to be sitting in front of a camera talking again. It's been a while, and I feel like I say this every time I come back to my YouTube channel, but I am coming back, I promise. So there's been a lot going on in my life, and that is why I not only haven't been posting on my YouTube channel, but I also haven't been reading. So that's great. And it feels like I've lost a bit of my identity. So I wanted to come on here to talk about it. Okay, where to begin? Number one, I recently went through a very large life transition. And if you weren't aware, I was living in Tennessee for the past year, which is not where I'm from. I wasn't living anywhere near my family or my fiance or my friends, and I moved there for work. So I would travel back home to Michigan often, but it was completely living in Tennessee, a whole situation. And I'm very happy to say that in May, I have moved back to Michigan. So I'm back home, which is so exciting and exactly where I want to be. However, it has been pretty stressful, honestly, even though I'm so lucky to be able to move back home and lucky for the situation that I am in. There's been a lot going on, and my reading has suffered and all my routines have suffered, and I'm ready to get back into it. But now I need to talk about kind of what's happening in this current moment. So I moved back to the apartment that I was living in, but we are also in the process of moving out of this apartment and buying a home. So that's going on right now. And I just returned to work after being off for 2 weeks. So I don't know, just a lot of big life transitions, but the moving process has been a lot more difficult than I expected it to be. We have so much to pack up. And all of my books that I had in Tennessee are all in boxes still in the new house. A lot of the books that I had in Tennessee are the books that I haven't read yet. That's why I brought them there. And I'm really trying to focus on reading the books that I own, reading my physical TBR. I'm not allowing myself to buy more books or really to use the library much, honestly. I just want to get through those. So it's been a bit difficult to have them in boxes. And I'm currently in the middle of reading 6 books, but I'm not really in the middle. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna go through all the books individually. Sorry, that was such a ramble. I had no plan of what I was going to say, but basically, I'm moving ×2, and it's tricky, but we shall persevere. All right, so thinking about the books that I'm currently reading, let's see, I have 2 of them with me physically. The rest are packed up in boxes still at the house, and then the other one is on my Kindle. Last month, I started to read Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. I started reading this because my old boss wanted me to read it, or she recommended it to me, and it sounded kind of interesting. I knew that it was a pretty controversial book, so I picked it up, and I got a few chapters in, but it's very long, and I haven't been reading it. It's packed away. I don't have access to it right now, and I'll pick it up again at some point. Maybe, but it's 1,000 pages, so it's not really a priority for me right now, although it is a book that I own, so I do want to get through it. The other book that I've started is Stoner by John Williams. This is so good so far. I have wanted to read this forever. I've had it on my shelf for a very long time, and it's been recommended to me by a few people who I really value their opinions on books. It follows a very mundane man, and he comes from a farming family. He ends up going to college for agriculture because his parents sent him there to get better at farming and to help the business, but he ends up switching to, I believe, an English major, and he falls in love with that. Although the kind of quirky part of the book is that this becomes his whole life, but he is seen as a very ordinary man and he's not very revered. So we're following his life and just seeing the little nuances of humanity of someone who's just a random person in the world, basically. And I'm only a few chapters into it. I am really loving it so far. I just can't read it right now because it's packed up in boxes again. So I really hope that I can get to those books soon. Okay, the other book that I'm reading is Hot Money by Dick Francis. The only reason I'm reading this book is because my dad gave it to me. And honestly, I'm really struggling through it. I'm about 30% in. And I asked him, I said, "Hey Dad, would you mind if I just didn't finish this book? I'm really not enjoying it." And he was, I don't know, he acted kind of like, "Oh, what? You have to finish it. I give it to you." Anyways, so I just feel like I have to finish it, even though I really don't want to, but I'm gonna keep pushing through. But I just want to take my time with it because I feel like forcing myself to read that book has kind of put me in a bit of a slump. So I'm reading so many books at once and it's really hurting my brain. I just want to get through one of them. That would be nice. Now, the physical books that I have with me, another book that I'm reading because my dad gave it to me, but this one is better. This is Revival by Stephen King, and it is about electricity and religion, and there's some quirky horror things going on right now, and I'm about 40% into this book and I am really enjoying it. I was able to get an audiobook from Libby to start it for my long drives on all the moves that I was doing, and that helped a lot. So I've been enjoying this, but also taking my time with it. Now this book I am really loving. This is The Road of Bones by Demi Winters, and it's the first book in the Ashen series. This is, I guess, a romantasy, and it's sort of Viking-esque. The main character, Scylla, she is going on a journey to get from one place to another on a very dangerous road called the Road of Bones. On her journey, it's very long and she's going by foot, so she ends up catching a ride on a cart secretly, but the owners of the cart, or I guess the gang, they find her and they end up taking her kind of captive because she finds out about their plan, but she has now joined them on the mission because she offered to help. So that's what's happening so far. It's really good, and it's been a very long time since I've read a fantasy book, so I'll keep you updated. Well, you'll hear about my thoughts eventually on this one. I'm also about 40% through. But the kicker is, I just haven't been in the mood to read any of those books, so that's 5 books that I'm in the middle of reading and I either don't have access to them or I just don't want to pick them up. My library pulled through and it gave me something that I've had on hold since the release day, and I'm so excited that I have it now. I'll grab it. It's on my Kindle. I don't even know if you could see it. It is Kennedy Ryan's new book, Can't Get Enough, and this is the 3rd book in the Skyland series. I think it's called the Skyland series, but it follows Hendrix, one of the best friends, and it is so good so far. I love the romance. This is a romance, I should have mentioned that, and it's set in Atlanta. It's so real, so raw, and there's way more than just raw. There's some pretty sad elements to the story. It talks a lot about parents' illness and Alzheimer's, and going through that phase of your life and caretaking, but I am loving it so far, and this is really helping to pull me out of sort of reading slump that I'm in. So I think that once I finish this book, it will motivate me to finish the others, and I should be moved and unpacked by then so I can finally pick up reading again. May is almost over. I'm really hoping that in June, my TBR is basically to finish the 6 books that I'm in the middle of right now. That was a lot. I just rambled. I don't know if anyone cares, but I just wanted to give an update. I'll be back with videos, and I have some really great ideas, and also we might be converting one of the rooms into a library. I'm not going to say for sure, but it might be happening. So if that does, I'm going to document the whole thing, and I'm so excited. I don't have enough books for a library, but I do have a lot of books, and we could fill it. So that'll be great. And stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.